Okay, so today we're ranking animals from genius level smart, all the way down to an animal so comically dumb that scientists basically watched it try to fall in love with a human head. I am not joking about that last part. Stick around, because that's a real thing that happened, and it's coming up at the very end. Now, quick heads up before we start. Real animal intelligence doesn't actually work on a human IQ scale, so the numbers I'm giving you today are just for fun, based on how these animals actually behave in real life. Some of these animals are legitimately geniuses, and some of them are about to make some genuinely questionable life choices. Let's get into it. Number 1, chimpanzee. Genius level, IQ, off the charts. We're starting at the top with chimpanzees, and honestly, once you see what these guys can do, you'll understand why. Chimps can use tools, and I don't just mean poke a stick at something. Watch this clip. This chimp is literally stripping the leaves off a branch to turn it into a custom tool, specifically to fish termites out of a mound. That's planning ahead. That's problem solving. That's basically inventing a piece of technology on the spot. Chimps have also passed mirror self-recognition tests, meaning when they look in a mirror, they actually understand. That's them looking back, not some other chimp. Do you know how few animals on Earth can do that? It's a genuinely short list. Chimps share about 98% of their DNA with humans, so honestly, it kind of makes sense they're this sharp. Number 2, dolphin. IQ genius. Extra points for vibes. Next up, dolphins. And these guys might actually be even more socially clever than chimps in some ways. Dolphins call each other by name. Not literally saying a name out loud, but each dolphin develops its own unique signature whistle, and other dolphins in the pod use that exact whistle to call them specifically. That's basically a name tag made of sound. Watch this clip of dolphins working together to herd fish into a tight ball before taking turns eating. That's actual teamwork and strategy, not random luck. Dolphins also pass the same mirror test chimps do, which, again, puts them in a very exclusive club. Honestly, if dolphins had thumbs, I feel like they'd be running some kind of ocean-based business by now. Number 3, crow. IQ. Shockingly high for a bird. Okay, this one surprises people every time, but crows are absurdly smart, and I mean that in the best way. Watch this clip. This crow is dropping a nut onto a busy road on purpose, letting cars drive over to crack the shell, and then waiting for a red light before walking out to safely grab the pieces. A bird figured out how to use traffic lights to its advantage. Let that sink in for a second. Crows can also make and use tools. Remember human faces for years, and even hold what looks a lot like a grudge if you mess with them. There's documented research showing crows will actually teach other crows to recognize a bad human who wronged them, and that information gets passed down for generations. You know what I mean? Don't make a crow mad. It will remember. Its kids will remember. Number 4, octopus. IQ. Genius, but extremely weird about it. All right, last stop on Genius Mountain. The octopus. And this one is wild because octopuses don't even have a centralized brain like we do. A huge chunk of their neurons are actually spread out through their arms, meaning each arm can basically think and problem solve a little bit on its own. Watch this clip. This is a real octopus escaping from a sealed jar, completely from the inside, unscrewing the lid using nothing but its own arms. Octopuses have also been recorded using coconut shells as portable armor, carrying them around to hide inside later. That's not instinct. That's an animal literally planning ahead for a future problem it hasn't even encountered yet. Genuinely one of the strangest, smartest creatures on this entire planet. Okay, that's the smart section done. Now we're taking a sharp turn downward, and it gets significantly funnier from here. Number 5, koala. IQ. Surprisingly low for something so cute. Here's where things start to slip. Koalas are adorable, no argument there, but their brains are genuinely one of the smallest, smoothest brains relative to body size of any mammal out there. It doesn't even fully fill up their skull. There's actual empty space in there. And here's the part that gets me every time. If you pick a eucalyptus leaf off its branch and hand it directly to a koala, some koalas will actually refuse to eat it. Not because they're full, because they genuinely don't recognize it as food once it's separated from the branch it grew on. I know, that sounds made up, but it's a documented thing. Sorry, buddy. I know you're doing your best. Number 6. Ostrich. IQ. Trending downward fast. Next up, the ostrich, and let's clear something up first. They do not actually bury their heads in the sand. That part's a myth. But before you feel too bad for them, ostriches genuinely do plenty of other things to earn a spot on this list. Watch this clip. Ostriches have famously been known to sprint straight at fences, cars, and other large obstacles instead of just walking around them. Because in the moment, running away in a straight line feels like a better plan than a 2-second detour. They also have one of the smallest brains, relative to their body size, of any bird. Smaller than their own eyeball in some cases. Their eyeball is bigger than their brain. Think about that for a second. This is a 6-foot-tall bird whose eyeball is out here outperforming its own brain in size. Number 7. Sloth. IQ. So slow it's basically in slow motion. 2. Alright, sloths. Now look, sloths aren't necessarily dumb in the traditional sense. They're just built around doing basically nothing, ever as slowly as physically possible. But that lifestyle causes some genuinely funny problems. Watch this clip. Sloths move so slowly that algae actually grows directly on their fur, which honestly is either disgusting or impressive. I genuinely can't decide. And here's the part that really gets me. Sloths have occasionally been documented mistaking their own arm for a tree branch while climbing and just letting go onto the ground from a tree because their own limb confused them. That's not evil. That's not predators. That's a sloth being personally defeated by its own body part. Number 8. Turkey. IQ. Getting concerning. Next, turkeys. And I want to be careful here because there's a popular myth floating around that turkeys will stare up at the sky during rain and drown themselves. And that one's actually not true, so we're not counting that. But turkeys genuinely do have a well-documented habit of panicking over almost nothing, getting startled by their own reflection, and occasionally becoming so overwhelmed by simple surprises that they freeze up completely, a real reaction scientists call tonic immobility. Basically, a turkey's default setting under stress is to just short-circuit entirely. Honestly relatable on a bad day, but still, not exactly genius-level decision-making from a bird that's had thousands of years to figure this out. And now, the moment I promised you at the start. Number 9. The kakapo. This is a giant, flightless, ground-dwelling parrot from New Zealand, and it might be the single funniest example of an animal making genuinely bad life decisions in the entire natural world. Here's the real story. There's a famous kakapo named Sirocco who became an internet legend for one specific reason. During a wildlife documentary shoot, Sirocco decided that a zoologist's head looked like an excellent mating partner, climbed directly onto the man's head, and would not get off in front of a running camera for a solid, uncomfortable amount of time. This is real. This actually happened on camera, and the clip still makes the rounds online because it's genuinely one of the funniest wildlife moments ever caught on film. But it's not just Sirocco. Kakapo, as a species, evolved on an island with basically zero natural predators for millions of years, so they slowly lost the instinct to be scared of danger entirely. Their main defense move, when threatened, is to freeze completely still and hope nobody notices a giant, bright green, flightless parrot standing right out in the open. That's it. That's the whole plan. Combine forgot how to be scared, can't fly, and occasionally tries to romance a human skull. And you've got, in my honest opinion, the single dumbest set of life choices in the entire animal kingdom. Negative 32 IQ fully earned. So there you have it. From chimps hacking together tools and dolphins calling each other by name, all the way down to a koala that can't recognize its own dinner, and a parrot that tried to date a cameraman. And honestly, I kind of love that both ends of this list exist on the same planet at the same time. Let me know in the comments which animal surprised you the most, and if you want a part 2 where we track down even more animals doing genuinely questionable things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.